least me and Dennis are the same size, huh? We'll look good this side.
Hi, guys. This is Justin with The Action Report. We're here for the podcast for TAR 38. Darren Appleton taking on Dennis Orcollo in an all-around match tomorrow. And just going to keep it pretty loose tonight. We got a bunch of questions from you guys on AZ. We're going to get to all those. First, with just Darren, welcome back. What do you think about the format, the match? I know you saw Shane play in Corey, and you said you wanted the winner. Shane couldn't make it, so we got you, stand in. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously very happy to be back. I said when I lost last year to Shane, I wasn't happy with the way I played there, and I said I would like to play like a different format against Shane, playing these 3 games. But obviously Shane couldn't make it. But I think really he's like scared. So then I mentioned Dennis to Jay, and then Jay made a phone call to Dennis, and obviously in my opinion, I'm playing the best player in the world, so it's a good challenge for me. And I enjoy playing Dennis. He's a good guy to play against, so it should be a good match.
Yeah. Dennis, welcome back to you as well, sir. It's good to have you back.
Yeah.
You looking forward to this one? You like this format?
Last time I played with Shane, so the 8 ball is a little bit different. This time is a little bit tough, so because if you break, when you make solid, just take solid. So it's a little bit difficult. So, but everything is all right. So, we have a top match, against Darren. Darren is a top player, so he's run good last year. So he won a lot of tournaments. So it's really challenging me.
Okay, good. Look forward to it. We also have as well our commentators for the match. So you can get the camera over here, pan over these 2 handsome gentlemen. Bobby Cotton and Jay Helfert will be your commentators, and we're gonna kick them a microphone, and then we're gonna get to asking some questions on AZ, and then we'll get you guys. You just want to hit some balls around and maybe demonstrate what you're talking about when we get into it. We'll do that. So, thanks everyone for joining us. Here we go. You guys fight over.
Okay, here we go. You have to help me out here. We'll just scroll this thing here and go through these questions. I want to say hi to everybody. Me and Jay have been long friends for a long time.
Even rivals a couple of times.
Yep, back in the day. What's this first question? Can you read this? Oh, here's the first question by Jay Hansen, 18. Jay Hanso. This is crazy. Can you ask Darren if he'll be given... Darren, are you going to be giving Dennis a ride back to L.A.?
No, not quite, but maybe I'll give him a ride to the Derby.
The Derby? Yeah, then what's that? That's funny.
Yeah, that's our next tournament.
Also,
Wrong direction.
He also asked, what are their personal thoughts on the state of Pro Pool for the next year?
That's a good question.
Not too sure, really. I mean, it's all up in the air at the moment. I still think there's a few tournaments out there. Obviously, we've got the world ranking tournaments, but only maybe 4 or 5 now, where it's gone from like 6 to 7 to 4 or 5. We still got the Derby, the US Open, straight pool, but marks events. So it's not as bad as what everyone makes out. But I mean, I think the prize money is the big issue with a lot of the tournaments now. Is that people are coming along and trying to have ranking events with like $7,000 added tournaments. I don't agree with that, of making them ranking tournaments.
Yeah.
I think that's crippling the game. So at the moment there seems to be too many people trying to get involved, and obviously these are the money in the game at the moment. I think we all need to start working together and trying to build something up again.
I agree 100%.
Dennis, what do you think about Pro Pool for this year? What's your future look like?
What pro?
For professional pool for you this year?
I think it's getting slow, So we have a lot of canceled big tournament like Southern Classic. So we don't have Southern Classic this year. So so we're hoping still, maybe in Asia. So we maybe we make more,
Okay.
Yeah, we seem to have to rely on going to Asia these days.
Yeah. He's got a whole bunch of questions.
Prod. This is for Prod. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Prod, flip the coin. His first question is, Who gave Darren the nickname Dynamite?
Oh. I got it when I was about 17, 18 years old. The Poolroom where I used to play in Wakefield in West Yorkshire in England. There was the owner there called Ralph Winfield. He was a pretty good player himself. And back then I was very, very, very bad loser. I'm still a bad loser, but back then I was
really?
I was a terrible loser, and I'd have some like temper tantrums and throwing balls around and stuff like that.
You were
So
like
that's
to
where
explode.
the Dynamite on it was sort of like involved in my game, because back then I used to play really quick as well, and so when I was on my game, I was they say like I'm Dynamite, and then when I wasn't on my game, they say I'm like explosive. So
Well, that's
it's a
really
pretty good
funny.
nickname for me.
And about Dennis. Dennis, do you have a nickname?
Yeah, RoboCop.
What is it?
RoboCop.
RoboCop. And where'd that come from?
My boss that made that name. So, but before that, my nickname is Dynamite too. Because,
What, did you get mad too when you got beat?
but it's not good for me because I'm always losing. So my boss told me we're gonna change that because no good for you. So what next, boss? I said RoboCop. Oh, RoboCop. It's
You look a little bit like
good
him.
news. So,
RoboCop.
Yeah,
well,
if you put the mask on, he looks like him a little bit.
getting good. So,
And plus, he's a robot. He play like one.
Here's two good questions. One, what do y'all think about jump cues?
Yeah, I'll go to Dennis first. What do you think of jump cues?
jump cue. Well, I'm not really well. You know,
Go ahead.
So,
You don't like them too much?
yeah, I like jump cue. So, but it's easy to, you don't need kick the rail. So it's like direct, directly hit the object ball.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think as a Filipino, it's a disadvantage for Filipinos because they kick so
They
good.
kick so well.
They
Yeah,
love
that's what I was
kicking.
thinking.
And I'm the same. I spent a lot of time in the Philippines, so I learned how to kick the balls. And then obviously you come back to Europe and America, and everyone want to use a jump cue every shot. I think there should be a limit on how many times you can jump during a match.
That's a good idea.
And then, because like sometimes you play a great shot and you get punished because the guy just get the jump cue out. And everybody can jump now because the equipment's so good.
What do you
They're
think,
always
like-
improving the
What do you
equipment.
think, like once per game?
I like twice per game.
Yeah.
I think twice is a good
Okay.
a good amount. And I think they have used that rule for a few times in the past. I think the Derby
That's an
used it
interesting idea.
one time and it works pretty
It's a
good.
good idea, don't you think? I like
And
that.
and then you're getting the right balance. You're not upsetting the manufacturers and the guys who are making these things. And but also you're going to use it when you need to use it and not just use it just for the sake of it.
Another question, which is good. What about, they want to know if y'all are playing with a low deflection shaft.
Who, me? Well, I
Both of
play
you.
I play with a 3-1-4-2, which is pretty low really compared to most
They're
shafts.
like a lot stiffer.
Yeah, I mean they're using a lot of deflection. Where Dennis plays with a Tiger, I think there's a lot more deflection with a Tiger.
What about you, Robo?
yeah, I can play any kind cue. So
But the amazing thing with
Well,
Dennis is that last year he started playing with Tiger. Was it last year?
yeah.
The first time he picked his cue up, he run 140 balls first
Yeah.
attempt. He picked the cue up, he ran 140 balls,
Strong.
and he don't even play straight pull.
Yeah.
He's never run that many since.
Yeah, but he ended up finishing the tournament. You finished the US Open 10 ball with that cue,
Yeah.
right? That was amazing. It was halfway through the tournament, and then he picked the cue out of Tiger, and he go and finish the tournament, and he won the US Open
Yeah,
10
I
ball.
want to use open them.
It's amazing.
He's softened you up now, Dennis. We know that.
Yeah.
What's y'all's favorite game, both of you?
I do enjoy one pocket, but obviously for TV, obviously I understand it's no good for TV. It's a bit too slow, but I think it's the most skilled game, one pocket. But probably my strongest game is 8 ball, but I do enjoy 10 ball. But I'll probably say one pocket. If I had to pick one game to play, I'd pick one pocket, just because I think there's less luck in one pocket.
I agree. What
What
about
about-
you, Dennis?
I like 10 ball. That's my favorite game.
What about rotation?
Yeah, of course rotation, but didn't use in the tournament. So
Yeah.
so
Did you grow
most
up
of the
playing
time.
rotation?
Yeah, I was started rotation. So
This one? This one's mine?
Let's see here. Where's Lonnie?
I got one. Here, I got one, guys. Hey, Daz.
Yeah.
Last time you were here, you showed a couple of drills that
Yeah.
you do. There was a request. Could you set up another drill or two that you like to do? And do you? There was a question about like after the Moscone Cup. I don't know where it came from or how it got started. Was that Europeans tend to do more drills, regimented practice,
Yeah.
than Americans, where Americans either just like to play or just throw balls out and hit them or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can't speak to if that's true or not, but
Okay.
what's your opinion on that? Do you feel Europeans do more regimented practice?
Yeah, I think it's a big thing for European players. I'm not too sure about the Filipinos, whether they do drills or not. I think with them, like, it's more field, but I think drills are good, like, to work on your weaknesses and obviously just get a feel for what you're trying to do. But just a simple drill like this can be really beneficial. I mean, just to get your stroking gear, for example, if I put the ball on the first dime and they just bring it out maybe two or 3 inches, and I put the white ball, let's say, on the first dime and they past the side pocket, just put it straight, and I just try and draw the ball back to the top rail. I can do this maybe 4 or 5 times, and then when I get the feel for it, then what I do then is that I'll put the 5 ball onto this dime and here, and then I'm just trying to do the same again. Just make it draw back to the top rail, but just try and keep the cue ball really close here. And then after I do that drill maybe for 4 or 5 times, then I'm starting to get in like pretty good stroke. And then I bring the white ball back to this centre dime and here, and then just the same again. Just keep making the ball draw back a butt. The good thing with this drill is that you're really starting to get in stroke, and you're starting to feel the balls. And then obviously when you start mastering this, you start putting the ball here and here. So obviously it's getting tougher and tougher, but this way you're getting used to different speeds and different power stroke, and then you start cueing the ball a lot straighter. And any amateur can do this drill. Like when I'm coaching amateur players, this is what I start off doing. Is like, because this is in my opinion, this is the best drill to figure out the weaknesses in a player's stroke, because they'll start putting like a quick stroke in, or they're snatching the ball, or they're jumping their head up, or choking the cue. And what happens if you like put a quick stroke in, the cue ball doesn't come back really good. It's sort of like stopping and then it's coming back. Where if you put a nice smooth stroke on it, you shouldn't have to hit the ball as hard. So if you just come back a little bit slowly and then through slow, you hit the ball like a lot softer, and then you'll get a nice feel for that, for like a drawback shot, and just keeping everything still. And when you get comfortable, you can make it more difficult by going down a diamond or up a diamond. So that's a really good drill for amateurs.
Dennis, do you have any drills you do?
You just practice. Let's ask him let's ask Dennis the questions coming up here. Can we ask him?
Can you repeat that? A minute ago, Darren, can you repeat that over? I'm just kidding.
Hey, Dennis, there's a question that, what's the guy's name here? Just a dub.
Whoa.
Okay.
Jay, drop the mic a little bit. You're
Oh, okay.
blowing it up. There you go.
How often do you practice, and how long do you practice?
Well, if the tournament's, let's say, 2 weeks before, 10 hours, at least 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
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 Back in the Philippines?
Yeah, Philippines or
Or
here.
Jay's house?
Jay's house, so it's a lot. So, is that the way how to, get a stroke?
For the week before the tournament.
Yeah.
What about you, Darren?
Well, maybe when I was younger, I used to practice maybe 6-7 hours a day. And then when I started playing American pool in 2006, I was the same, practicing every day, a lot of hours. But then recently, the last 2 years, I've found it difficult to practice that amount of time. So what I do now is I didn't used to do a lot of drills, but recently, the last couple of years, I started practicing maybe 3 hours a day, but trying to put more quality into my practice, like just showing you drills like that. So I started doing some drills what I sort of enjoy, and then just playing against the ghost and stuff like that. I think if you practice 3 hours by yourself, you get a lot more benefit from practicing 3 hours by yourself than you would, let's say, 7 hours with someone else who's not at the same speed as you. Where obviously, if I could get guys like Dennis to practice with 7 hours a day, then you're gonna be sharp. But obviously, we all live in different parts of the world, so it's difficult to find a player your speed or even better. You know what I mean?
That's a good answer. Listen, when I ask you a couple other questions here, let me continue with.
You're eating the mic, bro.
Continue with.
There you go. There you go.
Are we okay here?
Yeah.
The other question Justin Dub had was, other than each other, who do you like to play the most and why? That's kind of a weird question, but you know.
Yeah, I let Dennis go first on that one. I have a think.
Who do you like to play with?
Well, of course, I like to play best player in the world. Of course, Shane. I like to play Shane because it's gonna be like more challenge. You know, Shane, he got a good break, big break. You know, if you made mistake, like, you know, and for sure if he go back on the table, and of course if he ran out and then break the ball, for sure he's ran a lot. You know, so every time I play him, so I always careful. You know, I always, you know, I'm always thinking I don't want to make mistakes. So I like Shane. You know.
Okay. What about you, Darren?
Yeah, I'll probably say when I first started playing, I always wanted to play Efren. So even if I just practice so when I went to the Philippines, I used to practice with him, practice with Alex and Bustamante. So, but I always felt I could learn something off Efren all the time. He do things what no one else can do. But now obviously times change, so now I sort of enjoy. Obviously Alex when he's playing all the time, Shane, people like Ralph. You know what I mean? They're the guys that I really respect, and they're real professionals of the game, you know what I mean? So I have more respect for them type of guys like Torsten, Niels, because they're really good ambassadors for the game. So you know, when you play them, you've got to be at your best game because they're going to give it 110% all the time. Where there's some players who are not as professional as these guys, so they might not always give it 100%, and they can be easy to beat. But with these guys like Dennis and Alex and Shane, Ralph, Niels, you've always got to be at your best to beat them.
Good. Very good. Bobby, got another question there?
Here's one I really like. Did y'all ever have a pool idol in the early days, and who was it?
For me,
do you still have one?
yeah, obviously when I first started playing pool, I was started playing seriously around the age of 15, and at the time my uncle was like number 4 in the country at English 8 balls, Andy Appleton. So he's the guy that I looked up to the most. I learned a lot off him. So obviously he'd be like my idol from the younger days. These days I'd probably say Efren. I mean, I've just got so much respect for what he's done in the game and what he's done for like the sport of pool.
That's good.
And yeah, so I'd probably say them two for me.
What about you, Dennis?
What?
Do you have anybody you looked up to when you were young playing pool? Anybody you look up to now?
Well, for that, I'm really challenged with my I was started playing with my grandfather. So my grandfather, he liked to play pool. So our neighbor, they battle, they play every day for money, just for fun. But my grandfather, he always losing. So when I ate the early age, like I was 8 years old that time. So I'm so mad, I'm so sad because my grandfather, he always losing. So I'm trying to revenge to them to beat. So that what I started. So, but it's gonna be like for fun, It's gonna be like not seriously, but well, I'm grew up, I'm grew up poor, so I'm a fisherman. So I used fishing for 7 years, and the age of 15 years old, same like Darren. So I feel like I didn't make money good enough, So I try to find my dream, So, but I'm so blessed. So I'm here. So Well, right now I'm really happy, you know. So that's it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
What you got, Bobby? What's the next
I just wonder about Efren. Do you think Efren's the best Filipino player of all time? I mean, I know y'all play close. You know, I mean, I don't want, you know, but
Oh
you think
yeah.
he's the best. Yeah.
Efren
Go to
for me,
Dennis.
even us, Efren one of the best, of the best. He's very generous, you know. He's very, his skill, his mind is, you know, very smart, you know, and he's very patient, and he has a lot of skill. So he's the best for me.
Yeah,
Let
if
me
you,
ask you something, if I
Tell
could.
Dennis to move that
Dennis,
cue, please.
Did Parika have
Move
a big
the cue in
influence
front
on
of his
you?
face.
Because your game, when I watch
Yeah,
you
just-
play, it reminds me a lot of Parika.
Go
I
ahead.
I really don't see it when Parika's prime. So I see it. I saw it only Efren when he's way back 13 years ago. So when the first time I saw Efren play in Manila, so I'm really surprised. He's look like a computer, you know. He's like a machine. So wow, it's amazing. Is that in that moment? So it give me more inspire, you know. So wow, I thought when I was there in Mindanao, that's my town. So I thought no one is like Efren. So, but when I saw Efren, oh, it's like a magic. So, you know.
Me and Jay, we were both in Reds in '82, was it? When
85.
'85 when Cesar Morales was there. You know, Efren was going by Cesar.
I'd like to comment again. Well, Parika, I heard Parika how strong, how he play. I believe that. So of course, I have big respect to him. You know. So I know, but I'm really apologize because I didn't see it. You know, the
he didn't see him in his
personally
prime.
what in his prime. So, but I believe he's one of the great player in the Philippines.
Yeah, he was actually in the States when you were playing.
Yeah.
He was
But,
living here.
but with Efren as well, like you go to the Philippines, he's like God over there. I mean, you've been there, so he's like a famous guy. He's like
Very
really famous. You know what I mean? He's not like a C list or B list. He's like big celebrity over there.
Yeah, he's cool. He's so good for the game. I agree.
So when I first go over there and I got to play with him, you're like pinching yourself. You know what I mean? I remember one set I
Yeah.
played against him $200. It was only $200, but he beat me like 15-2. I've never seen Paul like it. But this is like
Really?
6 years ago. He just found the gear. This particular night, he found the gear, and it's like scary. You know what I mean? And then the same year, Ronnie Allen win the World 9 Ball, 2006. And then like the next day, Ronnie played at Efren for money. It was pretty big money, and Efren gave him a big beating. It was like
Really?
25-6 or something. But it was as if to say Efren was saying to Ronnie, "Look, yeah, you're the world champion, but I'm still the master." You know what I mean?
That's funny.
He just put a clinic on. So every now and again, he can bring his best game still.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah. When he was in Reds and when we were there, Jay, he just went through all the Americans like you wouldn't believe. It was sick. He's given all our top players the 8-ball playing 10-ball beat. It was remember.
Listen, when he was playing matches, they were races to 11 9-ball, and the people that were in with him were giving spots like 4 and 5 games on the wire with top players.
Yeah.
If they could get within like 11-6, they would win the bet. Efren was beating all the top players. Of course, he was Cesar
Yeah.
Morales then.
Yeah.
He was beating everybody like 11-2, 11-3, and we all thought he was from Mexico.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
2-second story. I run into Keith McCready there, and he had gotten beaten by Efren. He was getting like the 9-ball playing 10-ball. So the next day I see Keith. He says, "Cotton, you got to stake me." I said, "I got the nuts." I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, me and Efren's going to play a match on a 4x8, and we're both playing opposite-handed." He says, "I'm stealing." I said, "We got because Keith can play left-handed."
I know. I know.
They play a race to 11 opposite-handed. We lost like 11-2. I said, "Efren's playing right-handed," and he said, "No, he's left-handed." He looked like a mirror image. So of course we blew our cash then too. It was wild. Keith said, "I'm stealing." I said, "No, I thought we were."
Yeah, well, that's a good thing with Efren is that you can still see every now and again he'll play his best game. If he gets in stroke, if he has enough time to warm up and get his arm warm, like if you go to Philippines and watch him in the pool room after 2 or 3 hours, he start playing strong, Dennis, right? He start playing amazing. But these days, because he's playing tournaments, it's hard to get warmed up, getting
Yeah,
stroke.
yeah.
His nerves are not as good as what they used to be. He doesn't shoot as good as what he used to do. But he can still compete, which is amazing, really, at his age. But I would have loved to have seen him like 20 years ago when he was the best, you know.
Yeah,
Even when he came here in '85, Rolando, who is his manager,
Yeah,
I
Rolando,
became
yeah.
friendly with,
He was,
Rolando said he played better when he was younger,
Yeah.
when he was in his 20s.
Yeah, of course.
Because when he came here, he was already like 33 years old.
Well, he used to play good snooker as well back then.
Yeah.
He was a very good billiards player and a good snooker player. So obviously, you watch him shoot now, you think, oh, he was never good at snooker. But if you watch his old videos from like the 80s, 90s, you can see why he was a good snooker player
He
as
was a
well.
good billiard player.
I got a great question that I want to ask both of y'all because I have my own opinion on this and I want to see what y'all say. Pride asks, he says, when y'all are playing position, do you prefer to do it with English, put English on the ball, spinning the ball, or do you try to play center ball? And I have my own opinion on this. So what do you think, Dennis? Would you rather spin your ball or try to stay around center ball?
Most of the time, I is center ball.
Yeah.
I always center ball most of the
Center
time.
ball, really?
Yeah.
What about you, Dennis?
I try and keep centre ball, obviously. It depends on what type of shot, but if I'm going to
Yeah.
shoot the 2 ball like
Right.
here, I always tend to play just with a trace of left. Just a trace of left English.
That's what I think.
I think
myself,
I think it just suits my high better. Obviously, Dennis is a very centre ball player, but that's just his style. But
Yeah.
I think most players would play that just with a little
I'm
bit
not
of
disagreeing
left.
with what Dennis says, by the way.
No, if I was comfortable playing centre ball, I would play it centre ball.
A lot of
but-
snooker players play center ball, though,
Yeah,
don't they?
but
You know,
I've always
spin-
I've always seemed to play them type of shots just with a trace of left. Maybe it just suits
yeah, a
my
little
eye.
bit of natural English on the ball.
Yeah,
make
I
the
think
ball go
it.
toward the
I
hole.
think just throwing the ball into the pocket, let's
Right.
say, and I think it just suits my eye.
Let me ask you something. When you say center ball, Dennis, you say center ball, does that mean like within a tip of center? Or
Yeah, I think Dennis is saying he's right in the middle of the cue ball.
really?
Which
So
I.
you play all speed then?
But to do that, you've got to have a great eyesight.
Yeah.
To hit that centre ball all the time, you've got to have a great eyesight.
Is that the way how to, it's consistent, very consistent?
It's difficult to find the exact centre of that cue
Listen,
ball.
only the greatest players can really hit center ball.
Yeah, well, that's why he's probably the best.
We can use, of course.
See, I thought that he was spun his ball.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of the time, though.
Yeah, I think it depends on the shot.
Yeah.
Depends the shot.
What's your favorite pool room and where is it? Anywhere in the world, what's your favorite pool room? And that's from Petrol Boy.
I think the best pool room for action would be one side in the Philippines. That's probably
Really?
my favourite pool room for action
In Manila.
in Manila. I mean, that maybe not so much now, but back 6-7 years ago, it
What
was
kind of
like
tables they have?
Brunswick's. Were
Yeah,
nice.
Brunswick,
Brunswick,
Metro.
Bedrick,
Metro. And it was tough because it was slow, but I mean, Dennis probably he might disagree because obviously he played a lot of money games in the Philippines.
Oh, it's real humid though, isn't it? The balls
Yeah.
bank short.
Not well, they've got aircon in there. I mean, it's not as bad as what people think. It's not as bad as what it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
But in America, my favourite pool room in America, but it's closed down now, was at California Billy's. I really like that place in San Francisco. But now I'd probably say Steinway's a great pool room.
What about you, Dennis? What's your favorite?
And here, of course, Jay Helfer's house because
And the Tar Studio.
I'm sorry about that. Because you know what, when I woke up, so nobody bothered me. Just
Yeah.
practice.
Jay's house?
Yeah, Jay's house. They
Plus
have
you
a
get
pool
free
hall.
rent. That don't hurt nothing there.
Nobody. No, I mean full concentration. And and then when I hungry, I'm gonna cook right away. but that natural.
Dennis is a good cook.
But the ordinary pool room, I would say hard times. Yeah, hard
Really?
times.
Hard time.
What, in
And,
LA?
LA. And Manila, of course, my boss place, King Sports.
There's a lot of great pool rooms around the world. I mean, you can go to Europe and you find some amazing pool rooms, but I think America's the spot for money games. You know what I mean? So it's personal preference. Well, I once went to a pool room in Australia, Elbow Rooms, I think it was called. That were an amazing place, but that was all like snooker and English 8 ball.
Right.
But
English 8-ball, right up your alley.
yeah, well, that was a long time ago. But,
I
maybe
got a
10
question
years
for
ago.
Darren. This one's from me. How's your dog doing? The little new
Yeah, they're
little
doing.
dog, huh?
They're doing good. I've got 2 now. I've got
Sweet.
a Yorkie
sweet.
Poo and a
I see
Maltese.
them on Facebook. I just had to know they're cute.
Yeah, they're doing good.
Good for you. What tip, Dennis? What this guy here, Vimerka, wants to know what kind of tip you use.
Tiger, sniper.
Sniper?
Yeah,
Was it layered?
layer. Yeah.
What about you?
Kamui Black Soft.
Cool. Yeah, I have a Kamui. I like them. They're nice.
Yeah. I do like the crushed elks, but it's difficult to get a consistent one.
Uh-huh. You know what the best tip was for like 20 years? Best tips ever made until they got funky was LaPro's.
Yeah.
Throughout I was on the road playing pool with a bar table with a big ball like this big. Broke the balls 1,000 miles an hour with my playing cue, and the tip never mushroomed.
Right.
Best tips ever, and then they started, of course, getting cheaper. But
Well, I know a lot of the Filipinos use triangle, right? Triangle?
No, master.
Master, okay.
yeah,
Elk master.
Another great tip that they used to make, but you can't find now, is the champion tips.
with the red backing, had that red backing on there. Yeah. Let me see, trying to find some more questions here. Hold on. You
I
any-
got a couple when we get to it.
well, go ahead.
Huh?
I'm just as I'm looking.
Well, while he's looking, let me ask you something, Dennis. What do you think about this matchup with this guy right here, Darren Appleton? Which games do you feel like you're a favorite in, and do you feel like you're the underdog in any of these 3 games? 1 pocket, 8-ball, and 10-ball.
I would say 10 ball. That's my like what I say. It's my favorite game, 10 ball.
Yeah.
I would say, I'm favorite 10 ball. But well, Darren, if he plays good, even 10 ball, he beat me before. Well, I would say depends. The ball, rules. Depends the ball rules, and depends how we play tomorrow. How we perform.
How you feel each day?
Well, I feel good, so I'm ready. So, and it's gonna be excited match and very tough.
How about you, Darren?
Yeah, I think in this match, I'm not just saying it because we're going to play tomorrow or the weekend, but I think out of all the matches on the tour, in my opinion, I think all 3 games were really close. I think because 8-ball's my strongest game, even though I don't play it so much these days, but obviously I still think 8-ball's my strongest game. So, but I know Dennis can play 8-ball, he's world 8-ball champion. And then the 1 pocket, we've both had some success at 1 pocket in the last 2 or 3 years. I think we're probably the most 2 improved 1 pocket players in the last 2 years. Because Dennis 2 years ago, he couldn't play 1 pocket.
He was learning.
And I was just sort of making my way a couple of years ago. I had a bit of coaching, and I've won a couple of tournaments playing 1 pocket. Dennis is US Open 1 pocket champion. So I think the good thing with me and Dennis playing 1 pocket is that we're quite open. So I think the 1 pocket set will be really quick. I'm looking like 3 hours. That match will be finished in 3 hours.
Yeah, that's the first match tomorrow. Is the
Yeah.
1
I think the 1
race
pocket
to
should have been a race to 10 because I think the way we play 1 pocket it'll be over very quickly.
I think it's going to go quick.
Yeah.
7's going to go fast.
Yeah, because
with these run-
we're aggressive, but we play. We're not stupid. We're not just going to go for crazy shots. But I think there'll be a lot of run-outs. I think with me and Dennis, and then the 10 ball, obviously on paper, I think is slight favourite, and maybe in my mind I'm slight favourite with the 8 ball. But I think the 1 pocket can swing in it. I think 1 pocket we're even. So I think it's a 50-50 match in my mind.
Yeah.
But like Dennis, I've prepared better for this match than I did last year against Shane. I sort of embarrassed myself against Shane last year, so that's the key, is that I prepared myself really good for this match, and I've got to make sure that I can win a match on tour. It's been a while.
I think we're all looking forward to a real good tight match all 3 days.
Yeah.
I got a good question here that it's from Iced Veins, and it's something, to me it's a big deal because it goes to your mental mindset and the mental game. When did you figure out that you could play with the best players in the world? I mean, when did you really decide that, I can beat anyone in the world and I'm capable of playing with anyone? When did that moment come for you?
I started playing English 8 ball, so after 1 year of playing English 8 ball, I started playing competitions like Pro-Ams, traveling the country. So I started doing good in them tournaments, and then after 2 years I went on the national tour, which would be like playing in like a WPA tour, for example. And then after 1 year, I turned professional, and then I won the first ever professional tournament I played in. So then straight away I knew I could be one of the best players at English 8-ball.
What tournament was that? The
It
first one?
was a professional tournament called the UK Championship.
Oh, okay.
So I won my very first professional tournament, and then after 1 year I was ranked number 1. So maybe I'm the first guy to do that. So I sort of knew at English 8-ball in an early stage, more or less straight off the bat, that I was going to play pool for a living. So when I come to American pool in 2006, I joined the IPT, and I felt as if I had a bit of an head start because I'd won a lot of tournaments playing English 8-ball. So that gave me the belief that I'm sort of a winner. So I wasn't looking at playing Bustamante or Efren or Dennis thinking, oh, I'm like scared of them. I was just thinking, obviously, I have a lot to learn about the game because the like American pool and English 8-ball is two completely different games. It's hard to obviously the table size, the equipment, because we English 8-ball we usually play with a 7mm tip. The balls.
Table is it?
It's a 7-foot table, but the pockets are very small,
Yeah, I
and
saw that,
the balls are very tiny. So most of the players play with a 7 or like a 8mm tip. So when I come to American pool, I've got to get used to the size of the balls, the size of the table, the equipment. So when I first picked a Predator cue up, I'm thinking it's like a tree trunk. So obviously that maybe took me 6 months to get used to the equipment, and then obviously then I've got to compete against all these great players who I've watched on television. Because even though I didn't play American pool in let's say my 20s, I always watched it on TV, like the World Championships or the Mosconi Cup. So when I first get to play the likes of Alex Pagulayan or Ralph Souquet, I'm like thinking, oh, I'm playing Ralph Souquet. But then I'd like say to myself, look, I have a potter's chance. I have like a shooter's chance of beating these guys. Where obviously in the early days, like with the tactics, I didn't have a chance, or the break. And then I'd probably say my biggest turning point is that in 2007, I decided that I didn't want to wait 2 or 3 years before I start competing against these guys. I'm not very patient. So I decided in 2007 to spend like maybe 4 to 6 months in the Philippines. So I spent a lot of time in the Philippines playing money games against a lot of good players like Corteza, Gomez, all them guys. I was playing cheap sets against Efren. And I was getting some good results against these guys. So that gave me a lot of belief then that I could go back to America or Europe and compete and win tournaments. And then after spending that time in the Philippines, in 2008, I started playing tournaments full time. And as you know, Jay, I won the World 10 ball in 2008. And I think beating Wu Chia-Ching in the final of the World 10 ball championship made me believe that I can go on to be one of the best players. So I think that one match against Wu Chia-Ching just changed my life.
That was a huge
Yeah,
match.
it sort of changed. Not only because I won the match, but we both played amazing, you know what I mean? So sometimes you can win playing ugly, but this match, I proved to myself that I could do it on the biggest stage. And at that time, in my opinion, he was probably the best player in the world. So winning that one match really gave me the like kick I needed to go on and win other tournaments.
You've been winning ever since?
Yeah, I've done all right since.
What about you, Dennis? When did you first realize that you could play with the
uh,
best players?
2003 when I play Alex Pagulayan. So that's the first time to play the speed champion. So I really don't know. Alex is really strong, you know. But I heard his name. So, but well, I have stickers. He have a lot of hearts. He said, "I want to see Dennis. You're gonna play with top players. So I don't mind you lose my money. So I'm ready to, you know, give my money if you lose, you know."
Well, that's
So-
nice.
So, oh really? So I called somebody. I said, I'm gonna play Alex Pagulayan even, but not big money. It's like $1,000. So all right. So I'm behind. Like he's up like 10 games. So I thought as I'm lost. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh yeah, I accept. So I'm lost. But I come back. So I come back and then I won. So in that moment, so I'm really happy, you know. So and then he give me a percentage. So most of what I got, the percentage I give to my friends, you know, and drink. You know, I'm really happy. You know what I feel? Joy. It's like it. You never pay, you know, about money if you feel joy, you know.
Yeah.
So in that moment, I believe myself. Oh, I can beat top players. So, and then the following year, so I compete and I won some tournament in Japan, and gave more confidence to me. And in 2006, so this is my first time come here, IPT. So out of two tournaments, so I came third, and then the second one, fifth place out of 128. But before that, I came qualifiers, so I won the hard times, so I get in. So it's really tough, that tournament. All out of 120 players, it's great players. So it's really hard, it's very difficult, and I never forgot that tournament. There's $1 million involved.
Yeah, still pinching myself.
So wow, one of the biggest tournament for me. So
Yeah, I mean, one of the IPT events, I finished 7th and 22nd, and I make $60,000.
yeah. So
You make 60,000.
Yeah, out of the two
I
tournaments.
know,
I finished 7th. I finished 7th and got 30,000. I finished 22nd and got 27,000. I mean, to finish 22 and get 27,000, I'm thinking, what's
and
going
then
on here?
I got sick, and the last event I got sick, and then you know how much money involved, that I give up, and the money involved is like 30,000 gap, so differences, and said, Dennis, you don't want to play? It's 30,000 differences. If you don't want to play, you give your money 30,000. Said, oh, I got sick, take medicine. My friend give me medicine, and then said, I can't play, I got headache, how can I play, how can I win? Try it, okay, I take medicine, Advil, and then later on, okay, I play. And then Corey Dowell, that's my match is Corey Dowell. And then I walk, this is a true story, and then I walk like that, and then I break like a girl, like a woman. And then always swing ball, right? Because the magic
Yeah,
wrap.
the second ball. Into
And
the
then I beat Corey. And he said, he heard about me. I thought you got sick. Why you always run out? It's like, what is this? It's a joke? No, I got sick, really. I got headache. So bad. Oh yeah, you're right. The score 7-1. Yeah, you're right. That's really sorry. Yeah.
I got a question. Have any of you guys ever seen Dennis's impersonations?
I've seen a couple. Come on,
You
Dennis.
do impersonation?
Come on, Dennis. You have to do some impersonation.
Show us the Efren Reyes one.
Yeah, show us
The
your effort.
impersonation of Efren Reyes. Come on. Oh, Alex or
Is he
Efren.
as good as Alex? I've seen a few of Alex.
Oh, if the camera wasn't on, he'd do it.
No, I'm shy.
But he's making out he's shy.
Who do you
He's the
impersonate?
unshyest guy in the world.
Who do you impersonate?
He impersonated-
Everybody.
He impersonated me one time.
You can do Darren Appleton.
can do it,
Efren, Django, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see.
he's really good with
No,
Efren
no,
and
no,
Django.
Come on, come on. You
Come on, pal.
gotta do
later.
one of them.
The whole world wants
Nobody's
to see.
watching.
You got
Nobody's
1,000 people
watching.
on watching. Come on.
I'm sorry.
this.
Okay.
What, are you
I'm
sick?
done,
Are you
yeah,
sick? What's
I
wrong?
think, yeah.
All right, we'll get back to that.
He's
Think about
he
it.
dogged it.
Dennis, this
He's
is,
he's
No, I
go
don't
on.
feel, I don't
Go
feel
on.
really good. I don't feel, I'm
well, you want some
so
medicine?
tired. Yeah, I already.
You got any
You can do his one, can't you? Just do one.
Do it.
Prod wants to know what's your most difficult shot to execute.
Jacked over balls.
If
Jacked
you have
over
a
balls.
shot that you dislike the most to try
Yeah,
to,
This one.
for your cash.
Awful.
Check your Irish.
Worst shots in the world, these are. But the problem I don't know what you're like at these shots, but I think the
No.
smaller you are and the small fingers, it's
Yeah,
a disadvantage.
me too,
Where
I don't like
someone like Justin, it's like a hanger for Justin because he's a big guy. His fingers are like King Kong, so it's okay. But it's difficult to sight the ball when you got a small finger. Tough shot.
Maybe if you were taller. it
Very
might
tough
make a
shots they
difference.
are. Because if you don't hit the cue ball in the centre, just fractionally, it
Yeah.
goes away. They're the toughest shots in the game, I think.
What do you think, Dennis? What's
Yeah,
your
me too. Jumping
Same.
the ball, it's really hard.
You
Really
think
hard.
being short's an advantage or a disadvantage to play?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Yeah, of course, because my hands
got small
are
hands.
short, small.
We got sausage fingers.
Yeah, better.
But are you aware that many of the greatest pool players have all been relatively short, like 5'6", 5'7"? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we can't make the balls, but probably the least comfortable, I think. For any
yeah,
player, really, because you've no control of the cue ball.
Right.
You can't really control the cue ball the way you want to control it. You have to go forward, basically, with a cue ball.
Do y'all think the one pocket players of now play better than the guys played 20, 30 years ago? I got a real strong opinion on this myself.
I think the difference now is that the guys are a lot more attacking. The game's changed a lot. I think because I've watched a lot of the old guys and played with a few of them, and their knowledge of the game is great. But they're like, but they like to pick the balls off. They're like pickers, you know what I mean? They take one or two balls and then play a good safety. Where these days, people are looking to run the game from the bat, you know what I mean? Like after the break, they're like looking offensive, especially people like Scott Frost. He's always looking for that ball to go into the stack and pushing balls towards his pocket. And if they
I
make
think
it,
they did that years ago too.
Yeah,
That's
but not as much.
That's nothing new.
nothing as much
You know,
as
that's
now.
not new.
I mean, the game's a lot more open than what it used to be. Like if you watch a lot of the old players what play the game still now, they can take an hour. Some games, you know what I mean, half an hour. But I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just I just think the equipment's changed now. So
It's almost
the
an
way the game
unfair
is.
question because you guys didn't really see the players 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That's more of a question for you and I, Bobby.
yeah.
Well, I know who I think plays better. I think the old timers did. There's no doubt about
I think
that.
the difference now is that
No doubt about it, in my opinion.
it's easy to learn the game now because we've got access to videos,
And all the people
all these
showing
games.
you
So
everything. You know.
you can learn a lot more now by just watching a lot of videos or the old videos or just get some coaching. I mean, it's easy access now.
You
but
couldn't learn nothing years ago.
the internet's very
Yeah.
powerful. Where back in the old days, I'm guessing you just went to the pool rooms, you all gambled, and you learned that way. You know.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that you guys. There was a player that I spent many years of my life with. That, in my opinion, along with Efren, they're the two best one-pocket players I ever saw. Was a guy named Ronnie Allen that died last year.
Yeah.
Of course, he was 75 years old,
Yeah.
so I saw him play 30 and 35 and 40 years ago. And
I
you
did-
saw
I
Ronnie
played
play.
him. I played him in 1970.
But I'm guessing back in them days, your two main games were one pocket and straight pull,
Yeah.
right?
Well, they gambled a 9-ball.
Well, I mean, your main games back then were what? Straight pull and one pocket?
9-ball too. 9-ball.
Are y'all going to play? A guy wants to know if y'all are going to play in the Banks division at Derby City.
Yeah, we have to play.
Yeah.
The Banks.
Yeah, if they want to try for the all-around.
Didn't you win it one time or something? Was it you that won
No, no, I never win yet.
Efren won.
No, Efren's never won the Banks.
My
Or he
best.
came in
Somebody
second.
won it, and I never would have believed they even played Banks. Was it Alex or somebody did real well?
Alex has won 2 out of the last 3
Yeah.
I
Banks.
think so. I
And
didn't know the
he
guy.
also won the Banks in the Great Southern Classic.
No, I think Efren came in second at the bank.
He's finished second a
But
few
Alex
times.
won it, right?
But I think Alex is probably the best
Yeah,
Filipino
bank.
banker. The reason why is because he plays very.
Bustamante.
They all play great, but with Alex, he plays very conservative.
Yeah.
He always leaves a tough shot no matter what.
He's always ducking.
So
yeah.
he really ducks. But I think in a race to 3, it's the right way to play.
Oh yeah.
In
Leave him on
a
the
short
lane
race to 3,
rail.
I think it's the best way to play the
Yep,
game.
keep him parked down on
But you have
the-
the only thing with that, you have to be very, very patient.
Yeah.
If you've got the patience like he has, that's why he's a great one-pocket player, because he's so patient, you know what I mean? Alex will
Do you think
wait there
Alex
all day.
plays as good as Efren one pocket?
No, nobody plays as good as Efren.
I don't think they do.
He's the greatest player I've ever
When
seen.
he played Shane here this last time, the first 6 games, I'm telling you, and I've been watching one pocket with all the champions and playing them my whole life, and he had Shane where Shane was like in a fog.
Who was this?
When Shane played Efren here,
All
the
right.
first 6 games, no living human could have played better one pocket than Efren that day.
Yeah, and
Those
he's not-
first,
and-
then he took a break and he came back and he was like kind of
Yeah,
off, you know. But it
and
was
the thing is,
amazing.
yeah, he played bad the second half.
Well, the first half though.
But the thing with Efren is that he.
Did you see it, Darren?
Yeah, but his execution's not as good as what it used to be. So it's amazing
Yeah.
how well he still plays. Imagine like when he's executing the ball perfect.
It was unbelievable. You
Well,
know, in
I
'85, I tried to play him some even, and he wouldn't play. A year later, he's giving Grady 9-7.
Yeah. But
Go
I
figure.
think Efren was at his best at one pocket, what I know of, around 2005 to 09.
Yeah.
He was winning everything.
Right.
He was winning every derby, but he was beating Perica without Perica making a ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was beating Alex and all them guys. They weren't even getting anywhere close to him to winning a game, never mind beating him, you know what I mean? I mean, he was running over players. just like 4-0, 3-0, 3-0
Yeah, it was
against
amazing.
unbelievable players. He was giving people like Scott Frost the 7-ball, 7-9, and Cliff Joyner like the 7-9.
Yeah.
He was
And
killing
more,
them.
And more.
He was killing them.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world can give them guys that spot. But if Efren's at his best, he can give anybody the 7-9.
Well, the only other player I ever saw that could dominate like that was Ronnie Allen, and he did. He was giving
Yeah, that's before
everybody else 2 and 3 balls.
That's before my time,
Yeah.
but I'll take your word for it. What about Nick Varner? He played great one pocket.
There were many good one pocket players. Jim Rimpey, Mike
Parika.
Siegel, Nick
Parika.
Varner,
Eddie
Parika,
Taylor.
Eddie Taylor. He was great.
You got
Ed
any more
Kelly.
questions over there?
Huh?
Got any more questions?
I'm running out of questions. This thing scroll down further.
It goes to the next page. I got one for you. Here we come. Do you like 10-foot table matches?
Dennis, I think Dennis likes 10-foot more than me. You like 10-foot?
No, I'm not really, but as long the promoter they present the table, you know, they promote the table of the event, you know, I don't mind.
You play on any table, right?
I
Yeah, we
can
play any
on
table.
except the snooker. I can reach the snooker. You know.
I think the thing with 10-foot
10
is
foot.
that 10-foot's not really pulled, in my opinion. It's about your fundamentals. So you have to sort of change your cue action, I think, a little bit for the 10-foot, because the long shots are tough. Like this type of shot here, if you're going to shoot the 15 ball on here, you expect to make it, but on a 10-foot, you've got to really bear down, and it's easy to miss that ball, because that extra foot makes a big difference. And you see a lot of guys turning these type of shots down. On the 10-foot, people turn this shot down. You know what I mean? They just play safe. Just come around. Like on that 10-foot table, that's a really tough shot. I mean, it's a tough shot on here, but on a 10-foot, it's a different game. So if your fundamentals are not good, you're never going to win on it.
Have you
You're never
noticed,
gonna win
though,
10
when
foot.
you're playing like 10 ball on a 10-foot table and you break the balls, they're more spread out and they're less clustered. There's a lot more room.
Yeah, it's more
More
open. That's what I'm
room.
saying. It's not really. You don't see so much safety. The safety is different on a 10-foot to what it is a 9-foot. The safety play is completely different. The balls are more spaced out, so it definitely suits the straight shooters like Carl Boys. He won the last one. I think Dennis has won on the 10-foot.
Yeah.
All great fundamentals. Chris Mellin, but for people like the guys who were more like a 9-ball action, it's very difficult. You know what I mean?
I think it's boring.
Yeah.
10-foot action's boring to me. I can't stand to watch
Well,
it.
you know that.
Nobody's running out. Everybody's ducking. You know what I mean?
You know the standard table in this country, up until probably the late 40s or 50s, was a 10-foot table, and that's what they played the tournaments on.
I thought it was 8-foot.
No, the tournament tables, like when Greenleaf was the best player, and even Moscone era, and Karras and Crane and all those guys, they were playing on 10-foot tables. Until the late 40s is when they started going back down to 9-foot tables. And they did that more for space reasons than anything else, because they could fit more tables in 9-foot tables.
Yeah.
I got a question here. What do you guys do right before a match when you're warming up? Do you have a certain routine? Do you hit balls in a certain drill, or just what do you do to warm up right before a match? Like you roll out for the first match of the day.
You do, pal.
I don't know if you can
What's
hear
your
me.
warm-up for your first match of the day?
I'm gonna warm up to make a ball, swing my hand, you know. So of course, break, you know, break the pack to break good. That's it.
Sometimes you know when you first pick your cue up of the day. Sometimes you know after 2 or 3 shots if you're feeling good, like if you feel good on the cue. But if I don't feel good on the cue, then I just start hitting the balls really hard. I'll like just start smashing balls. Obviously, I'm trying to make it, but I just try and hit balls hard just to get loose, a little bit looser, and then just hit a few breaks and then just try and get a feel.
We can make it warm, you know.
Yeah, you
know.
got to get loose, that
can
arm
make-
loose. But some days
make
you,
warm, arm.
some days you just pick the cue up and you feel great, and then
Yeah.
the other day you feel a bit stiff. It's not feeling right, so you have to like get looser, like. That's the problem with the game. Like we don't always feel our best.
How do you
know
go
what
to
I
the
mean?
next page in this thing?
Let's see.
Oh, here we go. Hold on, fans. I figured something out here. Whoa. Page 1, page 2. Go.
Open it up a little bit.
Hold on.
Now hit it. Let's see.
Efren Reyes shot.
Let's try this. Yeah, now hit it. That might work. There we go. Oops.
Here, I got one for you. What's the best advice you ever got about pool?
What's your best advice you ever got, pal?
Best advice about pool?
Yep.
Of course, if you love this game, practice. Of course, practice properly and dedication and
Okay.
give more time. That's the way how you play good. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Daz?
think the best advice I'd probably say.
Best advice you ever got?
The best advice I ever got, I'd probably say, just admit your mistakes and try not to blame the rolls of the balls, and because pool players are their own victim, really. I think a lot of pool players who don't have a lot of success is because they think the old world's against them and the balls always roll against them. So, and I used to be a little bit like that. I used to think, oh, I get unlucky all the time, and then so I got some advice off people like Johan, the coach of the Mosconi, and he says like, and just I think it's important to admit your own mistakes, look where you got to, analyse the match, what you've lost, and try and improve on that, and just accept that sometimes you're going to get the rolls and sometimes you're not going to get the rolls, and just put myself in the right, just keeping focus. I mean, a lot of people keep telling me that I play a lot better when I stay calm and focused. So, just admit to your mistakes and move on from that. Don't dwell. So I think that's the best advice I've had, and that's the best advice I think I could give to someone.
What about you, Dennis?
Already.
Yeah.
Did you answer already?
Yeah.
I got like one or two questions for Jay.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Justin.
You guys are
Am I good or am I not good? Go.
You're good, pal.
And Jay, in your opinion, if an amateur is trying to become a pro, what's one thing that he should absolutely do if they're trying to?
You tipped a question.
Well, I didn't like that one.
Well, okay, we'll get. If an amateur's trying to become a pro,
What should they do? What should they absolutely do to become a pro?
Give him the
Well,
mic, Bobby.
What? Oh, sorry.
That's okay. As Mizrak said one time, practice, practice, practice. And as far as I'm concerned, there's two things you must do to improve as a pool player. One we all know, which is practice, play a lot. It's good to have a great sparring partner like Darren alluded to. He'd love to be able to play somebody like Dennis Orcollo every day. You definitely improve your game. Find somebody that's like your speed or a little better and put time in. The second thing, which to me is equally important, observe good players. Nothing like watching them play. In fact, pick a player that's maybe about your same size, and you can kind of emulate their style. I think it's very important to watch good players play. You learn from them. You see how they do things.
Without a doubt, you hit it on the head. My biggest thing when I first started playing American pool, I think I have a similar style to Dennis and Alex Pagaline. We all sort of compact, similar style, but Dennis sort of come on the scene the same time as me. So I always watched Alex. Alex was my idol, because I feel as though I sort of got the same sort of game as him.
There you go.
That's a great answer because it's 100% true. Here's the other question for Jay. In your opinion, Jay, what's the common factor that all pro players have?
Well, all pro players, if you're going to make it as a pro, you better be dedicated to the game. In fact, even beyond dedication, you got to be a little obsessed. There is no top player that didn't have a period of his life, usually years, where he wasn't obsessed with being a great player. And by obsession, I mean playing for hours every day. Now, today, there's probably 200 to 400 professional players on the planet that all play good. Why do some of them, like these two guys right here, Bobby, Darren and Dennis, why do they excel? And what I've seen over the years, the pro players who excel are the ones that have the most heart and can play under pressure. And to win major tournaments and to be a really top player, you've got to be able to play under pressure. And one reason why this match is so exciting is we got two guys who can both do that.
Yeah, also two factors is you need to have a backer or a rich girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what they call a pool player without a girlfriend? Homeless. That's my only question. The guy asked me here. Hold on.
Oh, you want? Okay. Here's one for you, Bobby. If someone had decided to go on the road in today's time, what advice would you give them to go on the road?
Wow, that's a tough one because it's different when I was on the road back in the 70s. Whatever you do, I don't care how much money you win, you got to put away like 10 or 20%. It doesn't matter how much money you win. If you win $1,000, stash 200 because you can live off that. If you can live off 1,000, you can live off 800. You know what I mean? So you got to stash your money. But I don't think you can go on the road and make money playing pool anymore, in my opinion. It's no good. The expenses are too high. 200 a day, 150 a day. You can't fade it. You know, and that and motels, the food and the knockers and the AZ, whatever.
Well, Bobby, we were from a different era. In our era, first of all, there were hundreds of pool rooms with people that would play everywhere, all over the country, and yeah, gas 25 and 30 cents a gallon. Motel rooms for $12 to $15 a night. Yeah. If you made $50 in a day, you had a good day.
But also back in them days, there was no internet.
Yeah, and there was no internet.
Like if I go in a pool room now in America, I get no action because everybody knows who I am. If they don't know who I am, like, and they see me play 2 or 3 shots, they're like ringing so and so, or they're going on the internet, they're logging on their phone, and it says and then
here's a perfect example
the
sitting
internet's
next to
very
me.
powerful.
There was a famous roadman back in the 70s. Everybody knew his name is Cotton. But we would talk to each other, and people say, well, what does this Cotton guy look like? He's got white hair. He's about medium build. And Brad Pitt. But that was the way we had to describe. We didn't.
Did you have hair back then?
Huh?
You had hair back then or not?
Not me. He did. He had white hair.
How about you?
He
you
had
have hair,
white
or you've always been bald?
some. But they called me Toupee J because I wore a toupee for a while. But that's how it was. We would have to describe players and what they look like. And I don't think I knew Cotton's name until I had known about him for 15 or 20. I didn't know his name was Bobby Leblanc. Even if I saw him, I said, well, that's Cotton. That's the only name.
I was mistaken for Cole Dixon all the time.
Why
we
Cotton?
fit the same description.
Where did Cotton come from?
Cotton.
White hair.
I had.
Oh,
it wasn't white. It was blonde when I was a kid. Toupee. I had blonde hair, white. Give me a. It went. No, forget it.
Well, where did Cotton come from?
All right, let's go.
I think you'll know next podcast because it's a secret.
Jay, is it true that you was very tight? You're very tight with your money?
I
You're-
still am. What are
you're
you
allergic
talking
to
about?
spending?
What is it? Hey, who bought coffee tonight?
Me,
Wasn't
obviously.
me.
You're allergic to the bar, eh?
Okay. Hey, Bobby, here's another one for you.
I think we're
Yeah,
done.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
We've been going an hour. So what we'll do is, what the hell's going on here?
We'll let Justin wrap this up. Hey, thank you all
Check,
for
here we
tuning in. The
Yeah.
match starts tomorrow at 5 o'clock. In fact, all 3 days are 5 p.m. West Coast time, so that's 8 p.m. East Coast time. And I think we're going to have 3 days of electrifying pool.
Well, here, let's do this. Let's get the predictions. We'll go around the room. We'll start with Bobby. What's your prediction overall for the match? Who do you like?
I think it's a coin flip. I haven't seen Darren play one pocket, and I've seen Dennis play, so I give Dennis a shade the best of it in the one pocket because I haven't seen Darren play. But I know he plays all games perfect, so I don't know. It's a coin flip, but I'll take Dennis in the one pocket. The other two, I think, is a coin flip. No, excuse me. Real quick, 8-ball, I like Darren.
This one reason I came over here to do this show is because, of course, I like the Tar shows. I think they're the greatest matches in pool, and I was thrilled to learn that I get to work with Bobby Leblanc because he's a buddy of mine. We go back too many years, and I thought this was a terrific matchup. Personally, I think all 3 days can go either way, depending, like Darren said, who feels good that day. There's a big difference between these two coming into this match. Darren's been playing a lot of pool lately. You've been to tournaments, you've been in action. Dennis has kind of been laying off for the last almost 2 months now. But on the other hand, Dennis comes in very fresh and he's very hungry to play. So consequently, I feel like it makes it a really good matchup. Here you go, Darren.
I guess I gotta say something. Listen, Darren's a beast. I ain't gonna bet against him. Believe me, Darren's a monster. That's all I got.
He's got a mic, Jay.
I don't need the mic. I think for me to get the chance to play Dennis, because when I first started going to the Philippines, 06, 07, and up to now, Dennis is regarded as the best money player in the world. And there's no doubt in my mind he's definitely the best money player in the world. He's proven that time and time again. Even none of the Filipinos want to play him for money, so that says enough for me. So for me to think like back then and then now I'm getting a chance to play him, even though like we're not playing like $50,000 of his own money, I still feel like I'm really honoured that I think I have a good chance of beating him. So it just shows how far I've come. So obviously, out of anybody in the world to pick an opponent to play, Dennis is a guy I'd like to play and beat the most. So I'm really up for this game because if I can beat him playing these 3 games, then it'd be a good start to the year, obviously. And maybe, and if I beat him, I'll buy him dinner for a week. I'll buy her dinner for a week at the Derby if I beat her.
What do you
So,
think,
so I just try and soften you up a little bit.
Well, for me, you know, this is my, it's like this is my main job. You know, like I stand, I make money in pool, and no matter what, every time I play, I really don't think who's my opponent. You know, I enjoy my game. I enjoy, you know, I give joy to the viewers. You know, and give exciting and yeah. So no matter what, I or win or lose, you know. So we always did my best in showing be a good, you know, good game to us for us. So that's all.
But who do you think's going to win?
I'm not sure. It's yeah, like what it's gonna coin flip, you know. So
Okay.
depends how we play tomorrow. But I would say I'm ready. I'm ready to be action for tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
gonna be,
personally, I think whoever wins the one pocket will probably
Yeah.
win. Will probably go on and win. I think tomorrow's a big day.
it's really hard to say I'm gonna win, you know. So both top players.
He
so
believes he's going to win.
depends,
and,
depends.
That's
tomorrow
that's the
will-
most important. Deep down, he thinks he's going to win, and deep down, I think I'm going to win. So
That's awesome. I'll tell you what, I want to thank all you guys for coming. I think this is going to be a really cool weekend. Dennis, Darren, Jay, Bobby, you know, I really appreciate it. And look forward to it. Everybody out there watching, we are going to be live tomorrow. Match starts at 5 o'clock. Pay-per-view stream will start about, I don't know, 4:30 or so, so everybody has time to get in. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
cheers, Shep.
And we'll see you all tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
I'm hungry.